Well, good evening and welcome to Referee's Corner here on IslandStats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basden. Joining me is none other than, well, two non-strangers to Bermuda. We're trying to change their passports from Jamaica to Bermuda. We see the big smiles. Uh, Nicholas and Damien. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for taking this time out. You guys have been a pillar of assisting Bermuda officials to grow over the last few years through the relationship with Bermuda Football Association as well as with the chairman of referees, Mr. Cranston Williams. But Damien, over the last few years, you've been able to achieve quite a few things with Nations Cup and so forth. But take us through I would say the last 12 months journey for you in officiating.
Okay, Earl, good evening, everyone. Nice to be back on your show. It is a privilege to share with referees across the country. So over the last 12 months, it has been very challenging. It has been a lot of work. I myself and Nicholas, we have been to Bermuda a few times working with Mr. Princeton and the referees from Bermuda. And it is always good to be a part of Bermuda. Bermuda feels like home. It's like home away from home, right? And we always appreciate the kind gesture from Mr. Williams to be in Bermuda to help in whatever situation is possible to help the referees to grow and to develop the product of refereeing across the island. As it relates to the last 12 months, as I said, it has been very challenging, a lot of work. You have to be consistent with whatever we are doing. Training is a must, because it's like a marriage. You have to get up every day. You have to be on the field grinding. So it's not only about running the fitness test. It's all about learning the art of refereeing, what is expected of the referee who are of the new generation, what FIFA want, what does CONCACAF require of us to do. So, it has been very rough. The Gold Cup and the Nations League concluded. The Nations League was concluded just before the start of the Gold Cup. I was a part of the final set of referees who were selected to officiate in the semi-final, the third place and the final of the Nations League. I did Mexico, Panama, where the game ended 1-0 in favor of Mexico. That game was very, very difficult. The game was played in Las Vegas. Despite the stadium was covered, it was still hot, and the temperature on the field with the players was it was very, very high. I think I issued maybe 9 or 10 yellow cards in that game, and trust me, it never ends early. It's never ends. And shortly after that, it was just a few days for the Gold Cup to get started, and we have to make the transition from one step to the next. And the Gold Cup is one of CONCACAF's biggest tournament, and here on display you have the best of CONCACAF referees who are there, and nothing is expected of us more than to give our very best. So we have to adjust as quickly as possible and know what the head of refereeing want from us, who is Mr. Rizzoli. So we have to get cracking from day one. We have to go training every day. We have long sessions within the classroom. As soon as the competition started, every 2 days we have long debrief sessions to ensure that the referees are on the same page and keep doing what is expected of us. But it has been very challenging early. We are already in the final eight of Nations League already. So there's a lot of football still to be played, and we are looking forward, myself and Nicholas, to give our very best to CONCACAF and to FIFA whenever they want us, and we are always available to their disposal, and also to Bermuda Football Association for sure.
Definitely to Bermuda Football Association. Nicholas, um, give us a summary of your last 12 months. Obviously, Damien has given us, his view on what it's been challenging, what it's been like. But give us your view on the last 12 months.
So Earl, good evening to you and your listeners. I must say good evening to everyone. The last 12 months has been, say, I'm grateful. Grateful to be injury free for the last 12 months. Putting in the work, just the same as my friend said, it's like a marriage. You keep putting in the work off the field and on the field, and you execute to the best of your ability every assignment given, and try to improve at all times. Help the youngsters to come along. The last 12 months, I see locally finish up in the Premier League and then with international assignments doing the Premier League finals in Jamaica and servicing the Leagues Cup games and the Nation League games. It's been quite hectic. Every month or so, you'll be on the road for another game, giving off your very best. Um, Hoping to be in Bermuda sometime to try to be there for the November or the September window, but not probably by Christmas. We'll be there. But it's always a work in progress. Football is a lifestyle. You get to love it. You enjoy what you're doing. So it's always work in progress. As my friend said, they getting up every day, putting in the training. It's like a marriage. But you enjoy it. You get used to it. You like it after time. Yes, you get used to it. Yes, you get used to it, and
Yeah,
love will grow for it. Yes.
definitely. Well, OJ has joined us. I'm not sure if he can hear us as of yet, but here we are. Welcome, young man. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. I just asked Damien and Nicholas to give us a synopsis of their last 12 months. Can you just briefly give us what your last 12 months have been like officiating?
Uh, 12 months. To be honest, it has been a very busy one. I would have had quite a number of tournaments and games in the past 12 months, specifically officiating. I think I had the U20 World Cup, I had the Gold Cup, I had Nations League, I had Leagues Cup. Yeah, it has been a very busy one, to be honest.
What would you guys say? Each one of you, what is the enjoyment you get out of officiating? Because a lot of people don't like officiating or afraid to get officiating because of the abuse they get from either on the field or off the field. But what are some of the things that you guys enjoy about officiating? And Nicholas, I'll start with you.
Okay. Meeting new persons, I say, meeting new people, traveling to different parts of the world. I would say right off the bat. But then the passion for the game out on the field, the atmosphere. Um, you get to block out that you reach at a level where the abuse, what's coming from the stand, you get to block that out and you focus on the game. Um, there are some venues where the spectators they are passionate about their teams and they're cheering for their teams. You get to feed off that energy. It's a really high you get when you are in a very electrifying atmosphere. Yeah, just officiating, being at your best, and having an excellent game. So once you have an excellent game, yeah, you really enjoy it. It will be memorable. Yes, you remember it. Yeah.
And you, OJ?
For me, it's more of a cultural exchange. When you get to travel to different places, you get to enjoy different cultures. You see what football is like in another country, which is good, to be honest. The more you officiate, meaning the number of years you spend officiating, the abuse becomes nothing. You don't hear the abuse because, you know, the higher the competition, the less the abuse become. I want to believe it's not so frequent, and also the authorities at the top tend to want to stamp it out. So the culture it's different. At the Gold Cup, the culture it's good. You want to always be out there on the field of play. The culture at the World Cup, it's good. Even in the US, Central America, it's really good. You want to be out there, you know. So even as a spectator, sometimes you're not officiating, but you want to be in that environment. So it's more the experience, the cultural experience, especially when you travel. Back home for us, sometimes it's also the experience. Even though we're in Jamaica, the experience is always wonderful. It always leaves you talking about something, which is the takeaway for me.
Yeah. And Damien?
Earl, I'm in total agreement with OJ and Nicholas as it relates to the cultural exchange, the atmosphere, getting to meet new people, new referees, understanding the way of life in these different countries. And as they all said, it's always a good feeling whenever you're out there. The higher you are at officiating, the less abuse you will hear. As OJ clearly said, the authorities is trying to stamp out it at the higher level. You more we hear they abuse more locally than anywhere else, right? Because we're operating mostly on an unprofessional environment. Most of these competitions are not professional leagues, so it's not the same as if you're working under a professional environment. So I think with the right person in charge, I think the product will grow and we will see a vast improvement of this going forward.
One of the things in Bermuda, you guys would have realized and recognized is that we have a lot of young people now officiating youth matches and even senior matches, but they're still involved in playing. What advice would you have for these young people to stay healthy, playing and trying to officiate, all in the same time? Because they will play a game 90 minutes and then officiate a 90-minute game, and probably 180 minutes, doing two games officiating. So, what advice would you have for them with regards to fitness regime and what they would need to do to stay regimented? And Damien, because I ended with you, I'm going to start with you.
Earl, you know, locally here in Jamaica, we don't have our most of our match officials. We don't have them playing and officiating at the same time. But as I say, with different culture, we'll experience a lot of different scenarios and situations. For example, in Bermuda, we have a lot of youngsters, especially in the referee academy that Crimson has there. A lot of those youngsters, some of them are players and they are also match officials. Pretty soon, they will have to make the decision if they are going to continue being a player or they want to be a top match officials. So they have to make the decision as they go along, and I'm pretty sure they're going to gravitate towards refereeing, because trust me, as I said, at the local level you will get a lot of abuse, but trust me, the more you get mature with more experience at top level games, you will, and once you love what you're doing, Earl, it won't get any better than this. So, and it is difficult to find the balance of being a player and a match official because the training is totally different. So as I said, they'll have to make a decision to see which is most important to the individual. And as I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to choose referee. I hope they do.
OJ, what about you?
I would have wanted to give you a first response. As it relates to the 180 minutes, first thing, I think as a youngster, you don't have an issue when you're young because you're young, you're fit. Naturally, you're fit. If you can go 180 minutes, no problem. It's not going to be a big issue for you. So the most important thing
And I hear OJ Earl.
Yeah, I think we lost OJ.
Lost
So
him.
Yeah.
so so Nicholas, what would your advice be?
How far I'll give you a story. Long, long ago, I remember officiating a game that Parchment was playing. Yes. See, and he chose refereeing. Yes, he plays no more. He was a player that if the ball pass, you will never pass. Yes, he was a player like that. But for these youngsters, as OJ was alluding to, they are young, they're youthful exuberance. Their play is just to balance their nutrition. Their nutrition is very important at this time, and of course, the level of competition that they are playing in. Most injuries you will get playing. Officiating, not so much injuries once you keep with the program. Proper training, proper nutrition, proper rest, of course. And I know Bermuda Referees Association. I've seen they take care of your referees. The referees have their masseuse. Yes, you can get your massage. They take very good care of your referees. So if you're a referee, there you will get the recovery that is needed after playing a game and then officiating. They take very good care of your youngsters. And not so long ago, he had a youngster passing the men's FIFA assistant referees fitness test. So they are doing great. They are balanced. From the outside looking in, you can see where they are making a excellent balance. Hopefully, as Parchment said, at the end of the day, they'll choose officiating. You're still on mute.
Earlier, still mute.
Um,
Not hearing it, Earl.
OJ is back.
OJ is back, but we're not hearing Earl.
Oh,
Uh,
you're back now. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Still not
Earl,
here.
we're still not hearing you, Earl. Still not hearing you.
Your microphone is muted.
I think I'll respond to the question until you're back. Because we're still not hearing you. I wanted to respond to the question. When
Go
you're
ahead. Go
young,
ahead.
it's just not. Yeah, when you're young, it's natural fitness. So you don't you injuries not so prevalent when you're young if you do what you're supposed to do correctly. So as long as you're able to balance and stay injury free, I have no issue with officiating and
Andy, where's OJ?
Not sure. Hopefully, he's in Jamaica. Hmm. Hopefully, hopefully he's in Jamaica.
Earl, we're not hearing you, Earl. I'm not sure what is going on with your microphone, Earl. We're not hearing.
Looking in
We're not hearing you
muted.
any at all.
Yeah.
Not sure. Okay.
Okay. Parchment, you should learn sign language. No, if you can see, then you could use sign language for the rest of the program,
Yes,
right?
you're going to pay me for using it. It's a lot of money. Whenever,
Yes, yes,
especially when we have member of parliament speaking and we have the persons
yes.
who represent
Uh,
the deaf and and those persons who cannot
yeah.
really hear and to express these kind of languages. It's a lot of money to do that. So it
Uh,
pays. So
yep.
I will encourage you to learn it as well, so we can make some of the money that is that is available.
Okay, right, right. So we learn a new language. Yes,
Of course.
yes, right, right. So Bermuda for the Christmas or staying home? Let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah, stay injury free.
Uh, yeah. That last year before last, you and I spent Christmas in Bermuda.
Yeah, at Crater Bay Hotel. It was a great time. Yeah,
It was
we
really, really good.
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it,
A
you
bit
know.
cold though. A bit cold.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was.
Yeah. Earl is back.
I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
We're
Yes, we
hearing
can
you
hear
loud
you.
and
Okay.
clear,
All
Earl.
right. All right. All right. All
Welcome back,
right.
Earl.
Tech,
Welcome back.
tech, technical difficulties.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Let's hope OJ can join us again.
Yeah.
But getting back to, that's good advice for young people. As we know, we have a lot of young people who, especially in Bermuda, who still are enjoying playing the game as well. But when we start looking at taking it up, not as a career, but as a I, I don't know how I would describe it. Let's use the word career of officiating because we often talk about more people being able to go further in the sport as an official. Um, did any of you honestly believe the achievement of what you've achieved so far was a reality? At, when you first would have started out, Nicholas?
Um, for other pros, for the instructors, when I started out, I remember a training session in Westmoreland. I think it was Mr. Meikle, Sir Thorburn, and Victor Stewart. I was just a young assistant referee. Didn't know much, just learning the craft. And they looked at me and like, hey, you, we like what we see, and with your age, you have the opportunity to say at least few World Cups. So they believed in me then. I had no idea all that. Probably if you ask me at that time, I'll be thinking, I'll be like who's gonna pay for that plane ticket to go wherever our international games, right? So I think the onus is on the instructors, the referee managers, Mr. Williams is doing an excellent work. The program that he sells and what he gives presents to the youngsters that's coming in with all the opportunities and all of that. It's really excellent. Bermuda have assistant referees going on to the FIFA list. I don't recall Christian ever officiating a game. I don't think Mr. Williams has ever officiated a game, right? But he is the head of refereeing and he has been making an impact. So I think the onus is on the managers to what they are offering. Yeah, you're coming in, you might not know of what can be achieved and all of that. Yeah, and where the sky and say the sky is the limit and all of that. You may not know. You just want to get some games, and stay fit and all of that. You might not see that vision way down there. But the managers, the onus is on them to present that picture, I think.
Damien?
Uh, I agree with Nicholas for most part, but also the onus is on the individual as well. How much that individual wants it, because the head of referee can have the vision, and he can make all the positive changes, etc., to ensure that you get the proper training. He expose you to all the different materials that is there to be exposed. And if the individual Earl doesn't believe that he or she have the potential and have the opportunity to excel at the highest level and to go to these top competitions across the world, then it is really sad, because as an individual, when I started out refereeing, I set myself objectives, and I give myself a time period. I want to be here at age 20. At age 22, I need to move from here to there. And the next 3 years, I want to be there. And if you can set yourself personal objective, Earl, and as you go along and you check your calendar and you tick as you go along and realize that whatever you started out to wanted to achieve, you're achieving those objectives little by little, and with the guidance of your instructors, your assessors back at home, and your head of refereeing. It only can get better, but the onus has to be on the individual, who has to be hungry and want to go places.
Well, you two have summed it up very perfectly because, again, yes, it is on the individual. It is, you know, other people seeing what your potential is, because 9 times out of 10, most people don't realize what the potential is, but somebody on the outside says something to you and it kind of piques your interest, but then you have to take it and run with it, kind of thing, to improve yourself. But gentlemen, I'm pretty sure we will see you, if not on this side of Christmas, we will definitely see you on the other side of Christmas, assisting Bermuda in having matches being played. I know you guys enjoy your time in Bermuda, and we look forward to when you guys come, because of the professionalism that you guys bring, and the mental attitude that only adds to our young people and our match officials that want to gravitate to learn from you guys. So we encourage you guys to have those passports ready, because I know Mr. Williams will be calling very soon. If not, right after this, he'll be calling. So thank you guys very, very much for joining. We'll be
Earl,
talking with you again soon, yes?
Earl,
Thank
you're
you.
most welcome. We just want to say thanks to you and also to Mr. Williams for having us on the show once more. It's always a privilege to be here and to give whatever information is needed to help the young referees to develop and to grow. So, it is always good. And we just want to implore that Mr. Williams continue to do what he's doing as the head of refereeing in Bermuda. He's doing a great job,
Yes,
and he should
yes.
keep up the excellent work, and do not let anything deprive him from stopping and setting himself objective for his young referees.
Well, let me just let you know, last week we challenged Mr. Williams to officiate a match. So hopefully you'll be on island when he does this. We're giving him.
Okay.
We're not going to give him any cards. We're just going to give him a whistle. And he has to
Yeah.
officiate.
No.
We
So
want to see that game. We want to see
um,
that game, Earl.
Yes,
listen,
I
there's a
want to
lot
see
of
that
people that
game.
want to see that game.
Yes. Yes.
So we've already challenged Mr. Williams to officiate a game, and well, privately he's agreed to it, but I don't know about publicly. So one thing for sure,
Okay.
we'll have to make sure
Yeah,
you guys are on island and he officiates that particular game. So
definitely.
you
Okay,
got a chance to see it.
Yeah.
definitely, Earl.
All right. Thank you
Uh,
very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, okay?
Thanks, and same
thank
to
you.
you.
You too.
All
Thank
righty.
you. Thanks.
Bye.